trim going right to left on your screen. And Gino, what a great way to get the Tri-Nations Cup kicked off, Canada and USA.
Yeah, it should be a great match. Definitely looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. I know the US will be looking to exact some revenge for a series loss to Canada last year. So.
And we do have our match official Mike, so we'll be able to pick up on some of his commentary as well. And we are underway. USA has possession on their end of the pitch. Both of these teams will look to establish themselves early. A couple of quick passes there and a fake pass and a nice one by Team USA as they charge up and try to get to the midfield stripe. A big expanse of grass here at the Dyke Fields. Kind of a curve. It's hard to explain from our broadcast position, Gino, but from where we are on midfield, on the near side, kind of almost a bit of a rise, a bit of a hump as you get up toward the mid part of that field.
Yeah, the field's definitely crowned, but it shouldn't interfere with play at all.
Ball!
Looks like Canada has that ball tied up. See how the ref decides to play it. They've stolen it, actually.
So good action there early. Canada gets that ball up off the ground.
Away!
Good stick there on Sophie DeGoody.
Really good tackle there. Canada carries on, though. A couple of quick passes now to this near side. Getting the ball into the hands of number 11, Asia Hogan. Hogan gets stopped.
Knock on?
Yeah, ball just went out there.
Okay.
And as much as we can,
for knock on
the official, of course, a big part of rugby, always seems to be a constant running dialogue with the official and his side officials, as well as with the players on the pitch. So when we can, because we do have the official mic, we'll try to listen into some of his conversation.
I'll give the mark, take the mark, and then on offense at your own space, okay? Thank you.
And plus, you can fill the gaps when we've got nothing to say, Gino.
That's right.
So this line out for Team USA. This is Destiny Arena to throw it in.
Nice steal by Canada at the line.
Very good steal indeed. That was Sophie DeGoody. Canada gets it up off the ground. Nice work there from the lock, Keegan Brantner.
Canada, the late getting over that ruck. Looks like the US has poached that. They have.
That's a ruck now, not from the side.
US now will look to move it forward. Big, powerful runner there in Tiara Aau. A couple of Au's on this USA team, 3 in total, but only 2 of them dressed today.
Ruck! Ruck!
So it's Au squared instead of to the third power, at least in this game for Team USA. That's Atumata Higano with the ball for USA over on that far side.
We have our first penalty. Canada pinged for offside. USA decided to tap and go quickly.
Good.
And they do take it quickly, advancing that ball onto the Canadian side of the pitch.
Fortunately, Canada able to poach that. Oh, no, ref's coming back.
Not 10. Offside.
A very warm, humid evening this evening in Wolfville, Nova Scotia.
Ref was just playing advantage there. Canada not back 10 on the original offside. So.
And they'll kick that, try to get it out for touch. And it does indeed go off the Canadian player. Trying to get over there to retrieve it. That was Brooke Bazian, fullback for Team Canada. We're just underway here in this first half. Game 1 of the Tri-Nations Cup. We'll have games coming your way on August 10th, 14th, and then a big matchup in the heart of Halifax, Nova Scotia at the Wanderers grounds. England and Canada will round out the Tri-Nations Cup series. Nice line out there from USA, taken smartly by McKenna Strong.
Away, Red.
Looks like Canada's turned that over as well. Oh, no. A little knock on.
We've got some pro-Canadian folks just to our right at midfield.
We're outside here.
A pro-Canadian crowd, as you would expect here in Wolfville, Nova Scotia.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see this first scrum. So far, the USA has struggled a little bit with their set piece. The first lineup being stolen, the second one being messy. So we'll see if they can have some scrum dominance, perhaps.
Very familiar name to rugby, certainly in Nova Scotia. Jack Hanratty, recently named head coach of this U20 squad. So Jack on the sidelines for Team Canada.
Nine's offside.
Quick tap there.
Yeah, taken very quickly by Canada.
There's a big dominant scrum there by Canada, and just all the U.S. has to back up as that scrum goes backwards. They did. That's the offside. Canada decided to tap and go quickly.
Okay,
Canada
just
trying
wait here.
to spread that U.S. defense out by working that ball east to west. Now they'll go back the other way. Trying to turn it upfield was number 4, Abby Duguid
Step
for
back
Team
here.
Canada. Nice job by the Canadians. Get it off the ground and keep it moving forward again.
Look!
Ball goes down to ground. Canada will pick it up quickly. Taken out of there by the scrum half, Sasha Gudis.
Ball just popped forward there with this humidity. We'll probably see that a few times tonight. Just as the ball picks up that body moisture, it becomes hard to handle.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Gino. Approximately 32, 33 degrees Celsius with a feels-like temperature in the high 30s, low 40s today. Extremely high humidity for our American friends. You're looking at about a 90 to 92 degree day with a feel-like temperature up in the low hundreds, 105, 106. And I'd say it's fair to say that the humidity is probably around 88 to 90%. So moisture all the way around here. You sweat just standing still, Gino.
No, most certainly. Another big scrum for Canada this time.
Coming out of it there.
No, the referee's blown it up. The scrum came up.
On the scrum. We'll do it again.
So we'll see have the scrum again, USA ball.
That was Adi Finau Tameavena.
Okay, just need you to stay back.
That's a fun name to say.
Don't
she
move up,
wears
okay?
number
Don't
8
move up.
in blue for
Keep that
Team
space.
USA.
That'll create the more.
A lot of very talented players on both sides of the ball
just
here,
gonna start
USA
over here,
and
okay?
Team Canada in this
Crouch.
U20 game.
Yeah, we actually have a number
Fine.
of capped internationals at the senior level in this game.
Set. Wait.
At least one from each side. So definitely some experience on the field.
And I know on the Team Canada side as well, very proudly, a lot of U Sports rugby players, which is the Canadian Collegiate
Backwards.
side of things. And that ball's picked up now. Here's a good run for Canada into the open field. That was Hogan. Hogan picks up about 20 meters on that run before she's met by the resistance of Team USA.
Referee playing advantage here for Canada. That
Canadians lost that
just
ball.
unlucky with the offload there.
Tried to get the quick offload before they went to ground, and referee stops play, and it'll come all the way back.
Yeah, so he's penalized the U.S. for coming off their feet over top of the ball. So he's saying they're putting their hands in the ground first before they come back to try and play the ball on that ruck. Canada's chosen to kick to the corner for a line out.
So they'll try to kick it out to touch here, and they do indeed, and they'll have a line out, Gino, probably just a couple of meters away from that U.S. goal line.
Yeah, they have to bring the ball out 5 meters, so it'll be 5 meters
Take
out. But I would expect Canada to look to try and catch and drive this, see if they can pop this over in the corner.
On the side.
So line out for Team Canada here, deep in U.S. territory, still no score in this fixture.
Maul.
Canada takes the line
Well
out.
taken.
No legs.
Bit of a maul forms now as they try to push that back toward the American goal.
Yeah, they're going to try and push this over if they can, keep control, keep things moving. And they have.
And they do get it over. Let's see if we can pick out the number. The mass of humanity down there on the goal line.
Yeah, looked to be Sophie DeGoody coming up with that.
So we'll give it to DeGoody. But again, just a good, well, it was that call that went to Canada. They kicked it out for touch. They got the line out at the 5 meter mark and then did a good job of just getting that maul to form, and they kept it moving toward the goal and showed a little bit of physical dominance up front, and they get rewarded with the first try of the game.
Yeah, they've shown some great play so far in the set piece. So they've controlled the scrums and they've dominated in the lineouts. And if you can do those two things, generally your game's going to go fairly well for you. One area I'd be a little concerned is they're a little slow getting to the breakdown, and the U.S. is seeing some opportunity there to pinch. So we'll see how that turns out as we get a little further on in the game and Leys get a little more tired.
This is Tusani Lavalley. She plays for the Abbotsford Griffins in British Columbia out on the west coast of Canada. She'll try for the convert, and it falls just a little bit short. So Canada gets the try. Conversion attempt from Lavalley falls just short, so it stays 5-0. We're about 12 minutes or so into this first half of play. So a good start for the home side, Team Canada.
No, definitely. That's the kind of start I'm sure they were dreaming of, controlling the set pieces the way they have.
Just wait.
And that's one of the interesting things I always find with the game of rugby is you get scored on and you got to kick the ball right back to your opponent. And that's one of the things you see sometimes in rugby. If you can start to get some offensive momentum going, it can just kind of steamroll and you can kind of plow the other team under because you had to keep kicking the ball back to the team that just scored.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there on Canada on the kickoff, but the U.S. again penalized for going past the ball with their hands, not supporting their weight.
So Canada's going to kick this out for touch again, right on this near sideline, just to the right of our broadcast position and off our technical producer, Brian's bumper. Don't worry, Brian. No damage done, my friend. Brian up actually on top of the scaffolding, doing camera work for us for this game.
Canada's number 8, Sophie DeGoody.
So we do have
the mark, ladies,
confirmation
onto the mark.
from the
Start in, please. Start
PA
in.
announcer. It was indeed number 8 for Team Canada, Sophie DeGoody, getting the first try of the game.
Options.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Canada, not straight called at that line out, so USA will have a choice here whether to have a line again or a
What
scrum.
would you like? Line out scrum, not straight.
So from what you've seen here through the first 13 plus minutes, what's your quick kind of take on what both these teams have brought so far?
Again, it's so early in the match. I would say the big
find
thing
the
I've
center
seen
here,
so far is Canada's dominance in the set pieces has definitely played a role in them getting that first score.
Nice line out taken there. They'll swing that ball over as the scrum half Olivia Ortiz works it over. USA now will try and work it down the line.
Away, red! Advantage, not moving.
Trying to get that ball out of there. It seemed to be a 3 or a 4 count with no movement.
Yeah, the referee's playing an advantage there. He's deemed that the Canadian player is too slow moving away, so advantage for the U.S.
Taken down there was Penina Tuliaepa.
Not rolling away.
Team USA with some names that will challenge the most seasoned play-by-play voice, Gino.
Yes, I'm going to leave those completely up to you. I'm talking generalities as much as I can.
Well, we do have the phonetic spellings and pronunciations of them, so I will always do my very best, and we believe we've got them right, but if anyone's listening to this and they're thinking, that's not the right way to say it, apologies ahead of time.
Stay back.
So that kick just did not quite make the make touch. Canada able to maintain possession, but then driven out of bounds. So it will be a USA line out in the end.
Something to mention as well, even though we've got these humid conditions, as you get over toward the sidelines, the footing in the grass becomes a little soft or a little mushy. It's still quite damp.
Here's our mark.
Yeah, I think they've been putting a lot of work into the field.
Okay, ladies, please.
As you know, the weather here has
keep that
been
space
warm
so
and
no
dry
one's
for
gonna
quite
that much pressure, okay?
quite a long time.
We're
So
gonna
they've done a
keep
great
this one
job keeping the field cushioned and wet. So it just it's
Thank you.
slightly
Just wait, don't come up.
slightly damp on the outside, but not too bad.
So a scrum well over on that far side of the pitch, Canadian side of the field, USA trailing 5-0. About 15 minutes into this first half. Scott Squires, Gino Carew, and our broadcast crew glad to be bringing you this Tri-Nations Cup Game 1, USA and Canada.
Canada's still dominating at that scrum, but not getting rewarded that time.
That ball kind of bounced around a couple of players, but it's the USA who pick it up. Trying to chip it forward there was Tusani Lavalli. Or excuse me, that's number 10 for USA, Kayla Kennedy.
Unfortunate there for the USA, just knocked forward of a Canadian scrum. Yeah, the US is moving the ball very nicely in the back line, so they've definitely got some good runners there, and they've made some ground through their back line as opposed to their forward pack. So
well, just looking at these two teams, some big, powerful players up front on both sides of the ball. So both these teams, if they decide they want to run north-south, they look to have some powerful players, powerful runners that could really put the head down and maybe grab a pile and carry it with them for a few meters.
Oh yeah, most definitely. There's some big runners on both teams. It'll be a good forward battle. See who's doing well at the 60-minute mark. It'll be interesting. See how fitness comes into play.
And scrum wheeled around, started to break down, and it's Canada who comes away with it. Picking it up quickly there was Holtkamp for Canada. Ball goes down to ground. Canada gets on top of it quickly, almost like a game of leapfrog there as they lined up to try and get that ball free. Canada comes away with it again. And the Canadian ball carrier, I couldn't see if it was 6 or 8. I believe it might have been DeGoody. dragging some American defender with her down the field. U.S. tries to regroup now defensively, but Canada gets it up quickly again. Nice play there by Gudis. The scrum half for this Team Canada. Canada now works it over to that far side.
Yeah, they seem to be really looking to try and stretch the U.S. and create gaps somewhere in the midfield eventually. So just trying to take them sideline to sideline and see where the gaps eventually open up.
And there again, Canadian ball carrier, I believe that was Holtkamp, taking the pile with her again, as we've seen a couple of times where a Canadian ball carrier has been able to take 3 or 4 American defenders 6, 7, 8 yards down the field.
This time it's Canada that's penalized for going off their feet at ruck time, and the U.S. is quick tap and gone.
Okay, play.
And a big hit there as Destiny Arena was met by a red jersey and taken down heavily. Trying to move that ball forward now is Eddie Finau Teneavena. That ball's over right on that far sideline. USA comes away with it. Trying to make some positive space there was Natalie Gray. Sometimes I want to say yardage, but I know in rugby it's always meters, meters, meters.
Yeah, so Canada really looking, they've got their defense consolidated and they're looking to really put some line speed in, try and force the U.S. into decision making. That time you had the first knock on there. The ball went to ground and Canada recovered, but unfortunately knocked it on.
Here's your mark. Yeah, there we go.
Well, while they get set for this next play, Raise a Little Hell gets played here at the Dykes. So this will be a scrum for Team USA. Olivia Ortiz.
Crouch.
Scrum half.
Bind.
For the women wearing the dark blue of Team USA. Ortiz puts it in. They'll try to hook that ball out now. That scrum's kind of stalled there for a minute, but it's Ortiz who comes away with it. Couple of quick passes. Here's a good run now coming down the wing. This is Suliana Aau. Aau taken down. Good tackle on that sideline, but about 20 meters picked up there by Aau for Team USA.
Back up.
Ortiz now. There's a big, powerful runner for USA. This is the other Aau, Tiara Aau. She wears 1 in blue. Now they'll pass it right down the line.
Big overlap out there. U.S. just couldn't get the ball away. Canada's pretty stretched here defensively.
Yeah, you could see they were really trying to stretch that line. Flying over the top there, trying to make the tackle was Brooke Bazian for Team Canada. USA picks it up. Now they'll try and bowl that ball up the middle. Emily Henry.
Tackle! Move.
They're right at the line, knocking on the door. Team USA looking to answer back here. Team Canada trying to stack them up at the line.
Huge overlap here to the right-hand side if they can get that ball there.
All by herself over on that right side is Suliana Aau, but they can't get her the ball. Everything bogged down right now, right at the goal line of Team Canada. Canada bending but not breaking. USA tries to work it down the line. Over into the corner. That was Cedric.
She's in for the try.
And in for the try indeed. So they tried to go one way and then tried to go up the middle. Saw the opening over on the left side, worked it over there to the wing, and I believe it was Alexandria Cedric who gets it over for the try. And USA, after kind of being dominated, at least possession-wise, Gino, has answered back and has tied this one up pending the outcome of the conversion.
Yeah, there's some good control there. They really sucked the Canadian defense into the middle of the field with a few pick and goes, and they really had a choice. They could have gone left or right there and taken that into the corner. They had overlaps in either direction. So something Canada will have to discuss and deal with is in those tight phases, making those first up tackles and stopping that U.S. momentum.
So we're about 21 minutes unofficially. No game clock here on the field, so this is my unofficial Samsung time. But about 21 minutes or so into this first half. 2 40-minute halves. So just a little past halfway point of half number 1. And that's from a very sharp angle. Similar result as Team Canada when they took their conversion attempt. So both teams have scored tries. Both teams have failed on the conversion attempt. You add it all up, and it's 5-5, just over halfway through the first half. And missing on that conversion attempt was Natalie Gray.
The score is now 5-all.
And we get confirmation from the in-house announcer that it was indeed number 11 Cedric who countered for Team USA. So we've had DeGoody with a try for Canada, Cedric with a try for USA. Conversions no good on both accounts, and it's 5-5. Canada now kicks it away to USA.
Okay. Good.
They'll dig that ball down over on the far sideline. Now they'll try to work it back toward the middle of the pitch. Getting taken down there was Penina Tuileapa.
U.S. with another overlap here. Canada really got to work the communication here, make sure they don't get caught.
Nice tackle there in the middle of it was Keegan Brantner for Canada. And there's Tiara Au. One in blue, powerful runner
Second
up front
tackle.
is the loose head for Team USA.
Here we go.
Little knock on there. Have a scrum down, Canada
Ball down
ball.
here. Time's off. Water break.
So Canada,
Some water, guys.
We're going to have a quick
Please.
little water break here at the close to the 20-minute mark, so your time's fairly
Water
accurate.
on.
I think I'll do the same thing. Again, just to mention, a very warm, humid day here in Wolfville. Well, right across the region, actually. For those that are watching this, the entire maritime region, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island have been in the grips
Just a minute.
of somewhat of a heat wave the last 10 days or so. Environment Canada have been issuing heat warnings. The temperature has been getting up into the low 30s and a feel-like temperature with the humidity and other conditions up into sometimes low 30s, or excuse me, high 30s, low 40s. So very important to stay hydrated on a day like this, especially when you've got two teams that are out there exerting so much energy.
Yeah, no, definitely. The water break makes sense in these conditions for sure. And referee needs a little water himself. He just had some. So we'll see. Be interesting to see how the second half of this first half goes. Some big ball carriers on both sides been taking the ball up. Canada seems to be just kind of wilting, dropping off those first step tackles right now. So they'll need to reorganize and make sure they're getting shoulders in first and keep that leg drive to put those U.S. players back.
Up until that surge and that try from Alexandria Cedric for USA, up to that point, even though we don't have an official statistic on it, I think it would be fair to say that the majority of the ball possession was with Team Canada. They seem to have most of the possession and were kind of controlling things, but as you said now, USA with that try, maybe a little bit of momentum, so we'll keep an eye on the latter stages of this first half to see if that pendulum of momentum swings back the other way.
Yeah. It should be interesting. This scrum will tell some tales too. I think the referee was just telling the U.S. players who had been kind of standing up to stop the Canadian drive the last few scrums. So we'll see what happens here.
Bind.
So this is a scrum for Canada.
Wait.
Sasha Goodis will put it in. Big push on that scrum up front as they push the scrum back probably 3 or 4 meters. Coming away with it is Goodis for Canada. Good run down into the corner as they are down close to that U.S. goal once again.
Yeah, unfortunately, ball just slipped forward there. We'll have a scrum down for the USA. But you can see Canada definitely has dominance in the scrum. They're just not. Ball just keeps popping out. I think they'd like to probably keep that in just a little bit longer and be rewarded with a penalty from the dominance they are showing.
About 25 minutes into this first 40-minute half. 5-5 is your score.
Set.
USA with the scrum on the far side of the field. USA end of the pitch. And USA comes away with it. Getting spun down there is Tammy Avena.
Little penalty there. It's holding on. Her support was just a little late getting there. Canada's elected to tap and go
Guys
quickly.
okay with that?
So again, Canada with control. Big tackle there. And the USA comes away with it. Picking it up was Tuileapa.
And Canada's turned it back over. It's just the ball slipping forward both directions.
Canada picks it up again. Trying to churn her feet was Nev Hahe.
Tackle!
Canada trying to give some help from behind.
Again, hands down.
Yeah, again, this
Time
is
off.
becoming a habit here. The U.S. is coming off their
I'll
feet.
come back, okay? Don't tap it yet.
I think he's going to have a little chat.
Captain.
So maybe just explain for maybe
issue
the
is the count was
casual
fine.
rugby fan what
The
you're
problem
talking
is you
about,
guys
because
are
when the
coming
ball
in,
goes down to ground,
the counter
what
ruck
you'll
is
see is
okay,
the two
but
teams
the
will come
problem is
together
you
and
guys are
form what's
letting
called
it
a
down.
ruck.
Yeah, what's happening
back
is the
and
U.S.
crawling. That's not good enough,
trying
okay?
to steal the
You must
ball is
keep our
going
feet.
past the ball with
Two
their
and 12.
hands, not supporting their own body weight,
Two,
then
penalty
dragging
number 12.
back and
Hands
trying
off.
to steal the ball. So they have to
Gotta
stay
keep
on
that.
their feet, support their own body
Thank
weight,
you.
and that's what he's penalizing here. So we had a little
Just hold it here.
chat with him. Looks like Canada's going to
Off feet.
go to the corner.
So this worked for them earlier. A very similar scenario when they had an advantage. They kicked out the touch. They took it at the 5-meter line and were able to punch it in just a few minutes later. So we'll see if they can get a carbon copy of their first try.
Chris, you got
Yeah,
the front?
nice and calm. Just slow things down. Go to a set piece, which you've
Just
done
go in, I'll
quite
come
well
from the
in,
back.
and just try and drive this over.
So line out for Team Canada.
Little overthrow there.
Tackle.
Timing was a bit off, but they still maintain possession and able to drive forward.
Luckily, it went into the hands of the captain of this squad, DeGoody. DeGoody has the try for Canada in this one. They're trying to push it over again.
Yeah, they're very close to the goal line now.
Referee keeping the eagle eyes. He gets right down in there to make sure he has a look, and he gets a good look, and he awards the try. So a very much carbon copy of what happened earlier. A kick out to touch, line out from the 5-meter mark, and push it in a couple of seconds later. And that's what Canada has done. Didn't quite catch the number on the player that got it, but the result for Canada is the same. 5 more on the board for the try.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can catch the number. I believe it was DeGoody again, to be honest, but we'll get some confirmation of that in a minute.
Well, Sophie DeGoody, certainly an experienced player. She's the captain of the Queen's University side in the collegiate level. She's also a member of the Castaway Wanderers in British Columbia, and the captain of this squad as well. So all kinds of leadership qualities for number 8 in red.
And would you believe if I told her that her father was a captain for Canada, as was her mother? So it's a heritage kind of thing for the DeGoody family and Steph White, who was the Canadian women's captain as well. So
what you're telling me is there's some rugby DNA in the DeGoody family.
yes, there may be some there.
So the conversion attempt now. This is Tusani Lavali. She was a bit short on her first one. Little better position here. And that looks good from this angle. And it is indeed through the upright, straight and true for number 10, Tusani Lavali. And the Canadians do indeed convert the try and extend the lead to 12-5. So we wondered in the latter stages of this half what kind of an answer Canada would have after USA answered with a try and seemed to be trying to get that momentum back. Well, I think we've got our answer.
12-5 for Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Let's make some noise.
It was a nice set for Canada. They took advantage of a few U.S. mistakes and then were able to go to the corner and penalize them from that set piece. So let's see how they react off this kickoff. Last one was a bit of a mess.
So again, my unofficial Samsung timing has us about 30 minutes into this first 40-minute half. Kick was bobbled there initially, but a good job of recovery there by Asia Hogan.
Yeah, it's a great run by the winger.
Back up, step back.
And these two teams aren't holding back when it comes to the physical play either, Gino. Some big collisions up on those front lines.
No, definitely some big hits coming in on both sides.
Just a quality rugby match taking place here on the Dyke Fields in Wolfville, Nova Scotia.
Tackle!
Scott
Leave the ball,
Squires,
leave it,
Gino
leave it.
Crew, and our broadcast team.
Just wait.
Part of the Sports Entertainment Atlantic production. Glad to have you with us. And again, just big hits.
Nice
but
little offload there.
great offload as Duguid carries on. Abby Duguid grinding along the ground, trying to pick up a few yards. Canada smartly gets it out of there again. Couple of quick passes.
Yeah, I would like to have seen that one just tipped on there. It was an overlap for Canada. They still have it here if they can get this ball out.
Picked up quickly again. Hahi.
Oh,
And
big
she
hit. coming in off the wing.
absolutely just a massive collision.
Right or
And delivering that hit there was Suliana Aau.
Yeah, that was a knock on there from Canada as well. So U.S. has a scrum advantage.
USA now. And a turnover there as the ball squirted out of the hands of the other Aau. This was Tiara. And I think that might have been what you were talking about earlier, just that moisture in the air and the moisture transferring from the body to the ball.
Yeah, definitely seeing a few knocks there. But it was a good collision there from the Canadian defender. So we'll come back for the first knock on there off the first hit, and we'll have a scrum down USA ball.
Props! Props!
Nice space. Keep that space.
So 2 tries for Team Canada and 1 conversion. 1 try for Team Canada, no conversion.
Crouch.
It's 12-5 as we've got about
Bind.
roughly 8 minutes left in the first half. USA scrum.
Stand up.
About 15
Okay.
meters
We
on
still
the
have to come up
USA
for
side
bind.
of the pitch.
And just make sure you keep that space,
The official,
okay?
and this, you'll see this a lot of
Come up
times
for
as
bind.
well. The official will see the scrum. He doesn't like the way that it's set up, and he'll come and step in and reset it. Typically, what's he looking for a good scrum?
He's just looking basically
Crouch.
at angles and binds. If he's not happy with what he sees to
Bind.
start, he knows it's going to get a little funny further on, so he's
Set.
going to blow it up and have them reset.
That scrum starts to kind of wheel around as Canada again pushes it back, but it's USA who does a good job getting out of the pile. Quick
We have
pass there by
another-
Canet.
Another knock on there in the tackle.
Stay back
So
there.
Canada very aggressive getting to that ball.
Just step back. Back up.
Canada trying to get things set up. Now they'll pass it. Good run here. Burging ahead was Carson for Team Canada. They'll pick it up and move forward again.
Yeah, it looks like Canadian numbers in the back of jerseys are having trouble staying on, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's
All
another.
across the field, they're coming off, so I apologize for not getting names in here, but it makes it more difficult.
Yeah, now that you mention it, there's several players on Team Canada out there right now that the numbers are just peeling off the backs of the jerseys. That ball well over on the far side of the field. Canada trying to dig in again.
Second man.
And the referee blows the whistle down as the USA player kind of fell forward.
She's tapped the ball. Play on.
Oh, she's tapped. Don't think she wanted to, but she did, so now we have to. She's going to go. Canada forced to go quickly. I'm sure they would have rather set that up and kicked into the corner. Big
And
run there by
there
7.
is a number we can see.
Watch
That's Courtney
entry, watch
Holtkamp
entry, blue.
wearing 7 in red. Quick pass back. Ooh, and a bobble on that far side. The Canadian ball carrier just able to grip it.
Good pace to the line there, though. Canada maintaining possession here fairly well.
Canada carrying forward again. Down into that far corner, right on the goal line.
That's held up and come back for the penalty.
And it looks like the USA was able to hold them up.
Yeah, held up over the line, so it was scrum down Canadian ball. Oh, no, before the line, he's brought it back for a penalty. He's penalizing the U.S. for offside.
So we're going to have to get the team on Team Canada on the sideline maybe to get some surgical tape out and re-tape these numbers on some of these Canadian players.
So instead of going for the corner, Canada's going to go for the
Back line.
scrum. Interesting.
Great,
They've
okay?
scored two
Kick off.
two tries off of driving lineouts, so. But they have had some scrum
Bind in.
dominance. Be
Okay, front
interesting
row.
to see what happens.
Well, you're right, because the last couple of times that they had the opportunity, they decided to kick it out for touch and then take it from 5 meters. And
Crouch.
both times, as you said, they were successful.
Bind.
But whatever the reason, a bit of a change in strategy here.
Set.
As you mentioned, Canada takes the
Wait.
scrum. Sasha Goodis will put it in for Canada. And again, you see Canada with the dominance up front, pushing that scrum as it starts to wheel around to the left.
Yeah, it's great control at the back by DeGoody. She's got that ball and she's dragging it along, staying bound in. The U.S. is broken apart. Referee's playing advantage.
And
Try is
again,
given.
well, we wondered why they went with a different strategy, but the result is the same. They took the scrum. We see the dominance in the scrum, and Canada ends up cashing it in for their 3rd try of the evening.
And I believe that is a hat trick for DeGoody as well. So
So we'll wait for the confirmation, but if indeed that is awarded to DeGoody, as you said, that would be the trifecta. 3 tries. Unofficially got about 4 or 5 minutes left in this first half, but Canada has extended the lead now 17-5. Pretty sharp angle as that ball was punched.
Of the 50-50 draw, it's a red ticket, number 3362. Once again, it's ticket number 3362. If you have the lucky ticket, please come to the tent at center field to collect your winnings.
So we're back here at second half action at the Dykes Field at Acadia University. Scott has valiantly climbed to the top to take over the camera work for the present time. We have some technical difficulties. We apologize, but please bear with us. And we're off. Good start by the USA, well taken by Canada. Nice line by the Canadian hooker. Canada with an overlap here if they can see if they can make of it. Ball went backwards. Canada doing well here, controlling the ball, moving upfield. Lost forward there, stolen by the USA. Canada needs to adjust here from attack to defense. Canadian prop is carrying her cleat at the moment. I haven't seen that before. She should just probably put that down and play without it in her hand. The USA moving the ball wide. And there it comes. USA outside half. Canette seems to be in a bit of trouble here on the discomfort on this side. She's got a definite limp as the US controls and recycles. Big overlap here. Canada needs to get some bodies out. Oh, unfortunate knock on there. It looked like the US had a nice momentum building. Great run by the Canadian hooker. Nice offload there. Canadians there in support. Taken in and a try scored. It was a great run there by Mackenzie Carson. Set that all up and a nice offload to boot.
Canada!
So this will be a tough conversion here for Tusani. We'll see if she can extend the lead. Score now 22-5 for Canada. LaValle's been good on 1 of 3 conversions so far. Just short, unfortunately. So once again, 22-5 Canada over the US. About 3 minutes gone here in the second half.
Try was scored by Canada's number 12, Madison Gold. The score is now 22-5 for Canada.
So we'll update that graphic shortly. It is 22-5 for Canada after that try. Kickoff is short. Canada's played it though, so play on, says the referee. Canada coming out with some more energy this half. Nice break there. Great steal by the US, well taken. Unfortunately, no support. Canada's taking it back. Break down the wing, just bundled in the touch there. Have a USA line out. So it seems the new Canterbury jerseys are struggling a little bit with their numbers. So we've lost quite a few. bear with us as we try and identify these Canadian players going forward.
So another try for Canada. Good start to the second half, picking up where they left off in half number 1. Try was scored by Madison Gold. Conversion was no good, so it's 22-5 now. Scott Squires and Gino Carew with you for this first game of the Tri-Nations Cup with Canada, USA, and England. And, of course, this particular game, Canada and USA.
Good quick reaction there by Canada to get on top of that ball. Yeah, the U.S. just on the wrong side, playing that back with their hands again. Canada has tapped and is gone quickly. Great tackle there.
Canada looking to keep that dominance up front going. Good carry there by the flanker, Courtney Holtkamp. Holtkamp plays for the University of Alberta as well as the Red Deer Titans.
This time Canada penalized. Again, ruck was formed, playing with the ball with their hands. The U.S.'s turn to go quickly here. Again, handling, just letting them down. Canada picking that one up off the ground. Nice take there. They have possession once again in the U.S. half.
Well, for Canada,
DeGoody again making hard yards. Did very smart there. Just was to ground, released the ball, picked it back up, and kept on going.
and there they go again, getting the ball up quickly. Another nice run there from Holtkamp as she took that pass from LaValle.
Yeah, good tackle by Ao there.
Canada again, they'll take it to the wing this time. A couple of players go down there, almost like they were tripped over.
Canada was looking to offload there. We have a whistle. Offside penalty. And I think the referee's going to his pocket, and he is. That's Ao, who we just congratulated for the good tackle. Now has been shown a yellow card, so she'll be off for 10 minutes.
So off to the sin bin goes Tiara Ao. So we're down from 2 Aos to 1, at least in terms of the dress list for this game for Team USA. So an advantage on the field now for Team Canada, not only with the score of 22-5, but now one more player on the field for Team Canada with number 1, Tiara Ao, in the sin bin.
Not sure. Looks like we have a U.S. substitution coming on here. Can't quite get that number.
Well, it's number 3 heading off. That's Penina Tuilaepa. So we'll try to pick up that number on the player checking in for Team USA.
Canada's called for a scrum, so we'll probably find out quite shortly how the U.S. intends to play this. They're going to have to bring another front row forward on here.
Player checking in is Isabel Manu. Reserve prop. She wears number 17 for Team USA.
And we need another. They have to bring on another front row in order to make this this scrum happen. So
a Canada scrum, fairly deep in the USA side of the pitch.
no, they've brought someone up. Interesting.
Canada with the 17-point advantage here. And again, a couple of times we've seen it, Gino. In the scrum, it starts to wheel around, and almost every time it wheels to the left. Is that just strength on the Canadian side? As we see again, Canada punch it in, and right now, Canada extending that lead and really putting a grip on this game. But just to finish that thought.
Yeah, it's just very strong on the scrum will naturally wheel in that direction, so it was just because of the way the front rows are set up, so you'll have that natural wheel. And Canada with the man advantage there, and having him been dominant in the first half, definitely the U.S. is going to struggle in the scrums for the next 10 minutes till they get their player back on. And I believe that was the Goods' 4th try. So an impressive start for her for this tournament for sure.
Well, that pushes Canada now to 27, and we'll wait for the official announcement. But again, if that is Sophie DeGoody, that would be her 4th try. And this will be, once again, to Sonny LaValle. And LaValle, good on that, so the conversion is through. And Canada extends that lead to 29. And it is indeed DeGoody confirmed as the person getting credit for the try. So that's 5 tries for Canada, 4 of them on the back of number 8 in red.
Yeah, no, she's been impressive today and taking her chances very well close to the goal line. So definitely has a nose for that try line. So well done. USA starting to make some substitutions.
So 29-5, a very comfortable lead, you would think, for Team Canada. Of course, it's never over till it's over, but certainly a pretty big hill to climb here.
No, they've really dominated possession this half. This knock on here will probably represent one of the few chances the USA has had from a set piece in this half. So. See reserve hooker Alicia Frommenstein entering the game now.
So Fromstein wears number 16 in blue for Team USA.
And the big number 8, Tommy Ivana, has moved up into the front row while A'a was off in the sin bin.
Referee getting them set here. That's Mary Jane Pesciolis putting it in for USA.
Wow, he's really letting those scrums go to get that ball out. That's well 90. Nice pass over the top, 2-on-1 here.
Great pass and a nice little fake pass there, and now giving it off. That was Kennett to Cedric. Cedric has the only try for Team USA back in the first half. She wears 11 in blue, but again it's turned over, and Canada has that ball once again.
Yeah, hands has just let down the USA today. They've had a real issue so far.
USA forced to play chase again. Nice job as Canada tried to kick it out for touch.
Great job to stay in bounds there, but well charged down and recovered by Canada.
That was a great job there as USA tried to kick it forward, and Sasha Goodis put the 2 hands up like she was blocking a punt, knocked it down.
Yeah, she did a nice job there. Canada has some space out wide if they can get this ball, and there it is.
Now some speed down the wing. Canada looking to break away down the sideline, trying to find the end zone, and all the way, almost coast to coast, setting it down for the touch. The crowd erupts, but an electrifying run there by Team Canada. I believe that was number 16, Erica Barton. We'll have to get confirmation on the number. Hard to tell if it was 16 or 13. So it's 13, Neve Hahi.
Yeah, she showed a great turn of pace there once she got her hands on the ball and just rounded the last U.S. defender.
That was just a dynamic run down the sideline, and no sooner had you said that Canada was trying to work it down the line and spread the U.S. out, they found an opening down that left wing side, and then it was just off to the races for Team Canada. And the conversion is good.
Try scored by number 13, Neve Hahi. The conversion is good by Tausani LaValle. The score is now 36-5 for Canada.
So Hahi with the sprint down the sidelines, a huge run for Team Canada. Conversion from LaValle is good, and Canada now running away with it 36-5.
Yeah, Canada taking advantage of both the extra man with A'a in the sin bin and the subs by the U.S. have let their defensive line be a little bit disjointed. In the first half, they were quite excellent actually. So Canada taking advantage and turning those opportunities into points here.
So now, for Canada, it's really just play some possession, play some control, keep the ball away from USA, and chalk up a victory in Game 1 of this Tri-Nations Cup, and it would be a very good start indeed for Canada. That ball mishandled just a little bit, but a good recovery from the Canadians. And now another smart run here as dashing and diving through a crowd is Daniels. Canada again. Nice pass. Canadian just coming in and clearing out several of those U.S. players.
Knocked on there. So U.S. with an advantage. They look to play wide here. They should have a man over. Nice step there by number 6, Toonen. She showed some nice feet there on that initial break. Looks like she might have picked up a little knock there. She's a little slow getting up.
Play over on the far sideline. U.S. picks it up. Couple of fake passes, and then it finally ends up into the hands of Fromstein.
Oh, good speed to the line by...
And look at that. What a
Nice
move
break.
there. Cutting to the inside. Fromstein started it, and it's finished by number 12, Emily Henrik. And that's the second try on the day, but initially it was Fromstein who made the nice first move and broke things free for USA. And then it's Henrik who finishes it off. So Emily Henrik has both tries for USA.
Yeah, the USA nicely there, just playing with the line behind. So, and good line speed when she took that ball to the line by Henrik. It was by Henrik, sorry, and it was definitely well taken. She turned the afterburners on once she got through that initial Canadian line of defense and was able to touch down between the posts.
Natalie Gray will try for the convert, and thanks for the good positioning on the touchdown in the end zone for that try. She has a great look here at the uprights for this conversion. So USA, credit them. They answer back. Not hanging the heads, not wilting here. They come back with the try and the conversion. And USA now trails 36-12.
Yeah, well, the U.S. has looked dangerous all day when they have ball in hand. They just haven't been able to keep that possession long enough to really put Canada under pressure. So good to see the fight back there. They're back to 15 men now. Howe is back on the field, so Canada no longer has that numerical advantage. Just looks like we're waiting for a ball. And here it comes.
It comes in. So Team USA, as you said, they have looked dangerous. They do get the try and the conversion. So now for Canada, the secret is not to set back and not feel comfortable with this lead, because you know USA is just going to keep pressing here. But a good turnover as Canada comes up with that ball. Nice move to the inside. Great cutback by Hahi. She's got speed. We know it. She tried to offload there to the wing. Picking it up and getting tackled immediately was Taylor Hurd for Canada.
12, Emily Heinrich.
Yeah, it was a nice break there by
The conversion is good by number 5.
Unfortunately, the ball just went slightly forward there on her attempt at an offload, so they'll have a USA scrum.
So 36-12 is your score. Team Canada in the lead here as we make our way through the second half. Game 1 of the Tri-Nations Cup. Canada, USA, and England playing a series of matches over the course of the next 10 days. I'm Scott Squires. My broadcast partner is Gino Carew. We're at the Dykes Fields in the heart of Wolfville, Nova Scotia, in the Annapolis Valley. A little over an hour or so outside the capital city of Halifax, Nova Scotia. And the home, of course, of Acadia University, the Axemen and the Axewomen. Acadia actually hosting the U Sports Women's National Rugby Championship November 1st to 4th this year.
Great run and take off the back of the scrum there by Tumiavana. She's been a force with ball in hand all day, but unfortunately again just slips out of the hands and Canada able to take it on.
Yeah, Canada's been getting a lot of those loose balls very quickly. Anytime there's any kind of a loose ball or 50-50 ball up in the air, quite often it's been Canada who's been getting there first. And it's helped pay off in part of this 36-12 lead. Here comes Canada again. One of the jerseys without the number that has been peeled off, so can't quite tell who that is. However, Canada picks it up off the ground. Moving it ahead is Duguid. Here's Duguid now. She's tackled right at the sideline and taken out as it took 2 defenders to take big Duguid down to the ground.
Yeah, they've bundled her into touch nicely. have a USA line out here. So it looks like we have substitutions coming on for Canada, 1, 2, and 3. So a whole new front row coming on for Canada now.
So wholesale substitutions here, much to the delight of the fans as they give a round of applause and appreciation for the starters who are heading off. And quite a few substitutions now are going to get a taste of play here in the second part of the second half. That ball was tapped over there by Gray for USA.
Good contact there.
Yeah, that ball carrier for USA met with some resistance right away from Team Canada, and they've done that all game long. U.S. now will try to kick it out for touch. Canada tried to get there. Very close. Taylor Hurd almost kept it in.
They changed the front row, putting in number 16, Erica Barton, number 17, local from Nova Scotia, Amelia Hatfield, and number 18, Maya Montiel.
Well, Amelia Hatfield, a Nova Scotia native, announced as one of the substitutions coming in. A nice round of applause here from the crowd in attendance. Nice crowd here on hand at the Dykes Fields on a, gosh, what? This is a Tuesday night, isn't it, Gino?
Yes, it is.
Lost track of my days here. But yeah, good crowd on hand on a Tuesday night here in Wolfville. And the pro-Canadian crowd enjoying what they're seeing so far, 36-12. Canada with the lead. And certainly it's been a team effort for Canada, but an individual has really stepped forward here for Team Canada today as number 8, Sasha Goodis, has scored 4 tries for Canada.
Yeah, that's Sophie DeGoody is 8.
Sophie DeGoody. That's correct, yes. Goodis is 9, not 8.
Yeah, but who has played very well as well. It's been quite good for Canada.
Yeah.
Knocked on there, unfortunately.
Yeah, the scrum half, Goodis for Canada, has played exceptionally well. But again, yeah, DeGoody, number 8, the captain of this squad, has been a dominant player. 4 tries and has been all over the field for this red-clad team from Canada.
Looks like we're going to have the second half water break here. So we'll restart with the scrum to the U.S., I believe.
Amelia Hatfield, as mentioned, the only Nova Scotian on this team. She plays for St. Francis Xavier University, a dominant rugby school themselves in varsity athletics and collegiate rugby on the women's side. She also plays for the Halifax Tars on the club side of things. Should mention you as well, Gino. You have a very prominent role with Rugby Nova Scotia. Maybe for folks tuning in, what is your role?
Yeah, so I'm the president of Rugby Nova Scotia, which sounds very impressive, but in reality is...
Don't be modest now,
yeah,
Gino.
No. Yeah, we've actually had a very good year here in Nova Scotia. Our provincial sides have performed extremely well. Our senior men captured the Eastern Canadian Championships a few weeks ago in Montreal. So that would be the Ontario Arrows Academy would have been involved in that, the Quebec provincial team, the Newfoundland Rock. So they did quite well. And then at the recent age grade nationals, the Atlantic team,
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's
Atlantic
make some
men's
noise!
U19 team placed second, and our U20 women's team placed third, which for a small province is a small area is quite impressive. And our senior women also managed to bring home a silver medal, so it was a great week overall there as well.
And I know that the Nova Scotia Celtics on the women's side and the men's side as well are going to have a couple of really strong teams at the Eastern Canadian Nationals coming up actually next week right here in Wolfville.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hosting that. It's the first time we've had that event. Involves all provinces from Ontario East, and we have age grade teams in the U16 men, women, and U18 men and women competing. So about 800 athletes will be here at Acadia. So it should be a great week of competition.
And some great competition here as well as another nice run from Tammy Avena. She's been a force for Team USA, number 8 in blue. She's had an excellent match.
Yeah, earlier in the match, Canada was controlling the scrums, and they didn't have a chance to actually She didn't have a chance to pick that ball from the base, but now we're seeing what they can do she can do with a little bit of time.
And both teams still working hard here, as we saw quite a few players battling for that ball over on that far side. Bit of a mishandle there as the ball kind of got spun around and knocked back, and the referee stops it.
Yeah, I have another little knock on there, so I'll have a scrum down. Again, USA ball.
By my unofficial count, about 17 minutes or so left in this second half. I got a positive nod from our Team Canada friends to our right. So a scrum over on that far side. Canada leading 36-12 in game one of this Tri-Nations Cup. And I know a couple of more games to come. And it's great to be down here at the Dykes in Wolfville, but Gino, certainly that game on the 18th, Canada-England at the Wanderers grounds in Halifax, should be absolutely epic.
Yeah, it should be an excellent game, and a great venue, of course. We had Canada-USA there earlier this year, and it was a great day. So we're expecting a big crowd. All the kids involved in the age grade event here will be bussed up, so we'll have a large crowd for sure, and we're looking forward to that one.
Here's USA now. Trying to charge up forward. There was Isabel Manu. Manu gets stopped up, but USA gets the ball off the ground. Little chip up ahead there as they try to kick it forward. And Canada does a good job of closing the gap. Getting there on the tackle was Taylor Hurd.
Yeah, just into touch there.
Let's go, Amelia. Let's go, Maya.
So Team Canada still showing some jump out there, even though they've got the 24-point lead. It'll be a line out now for Team Canada. Erica Barton will throw it in. Erica plays her collegiate ball for Guelph University and her club ball for Kingston Panthers in Ontario.
Little mix-up there, but Canada still came away with that. Good clearance over that ruck by Canada.
Good run there, picking up a few meters. That was DeGoody again. Number 8 in red. She of the 4 tries today. Canada now works it down the line, spreading out that USA defense, taking it down to that far sideline.
Again, just lost in contact there by Canada. A little knock on, so I have a scrum for the US. Canada probably should have come back here to the right-hand side. They had 3-on-1 with only the prop as the lone defender.
So Acadia's own Annie Kennedy goes in for number 14, Anna Daniels.
Annie Kennedy checks into the game. She actually plays rugby for Acadia University, so she'd be very familiar with the area here. Wearing number 22 for Team Canada. Scrum over on that far side. And we've mentioned the Au sisters a few times. 2 of them dressed today, 3 of them on Team USA in total. They all play for Central Washington University, so I would imagine that Central Washington University must have a pretty strong team.
I would think so. Definitely some hard runners and big tacklers.
Quite a cross-section of talent from across the United States of America on this team. Some players from Notre Dame University, Utah Valley University. We mentioned Central Washington.
Little chip here, no one back for Canada.
Nice running catch there, as taking that in stride was Taylor Hurd.
Yes, Annie! Great job, Annie!
And you may hear some of the Team Canada folks to our right very delighted in what they're seeing here.
Well, certainly they're quite happy, quite pleased with the way things are going.
Certainly helps the energy level when your squad is up by 24 and you've only got about 11, 12 minutes to play in a game.
Canada on a penalty advantage here for slowing the ball down.
And
lots of space back here. Nice chip there by Kennedy.
Yeah, very much so. Gets about 40 meters on that kick. USA picks it up. Nice little move there. Ducking under the tackle was Kayla Canet.
She ducked under one, but not the second. That was a good tackle again by Kennedy. Looking to make a presence here, her presence felt here on her home pitch. So,
yeah, Canada certainly affording themselves very well here against this squad from the United States of America. Mary Jane Pasiolas had the ball for a minute now. Canada again closes ground quickly. Passiolis, the ball carrier. She gets taken down. Stays with it, though. She'll try to move it back to her mates. She does.
Little block on that kick. Canada catches it, though.
Canada has just been, wherever there's a loose ball or an opportunity to get a ball, Canada seems to be their red jerseys all the time.
Yeah.
Ball
that was
over.
a man who just blew that ruck up and stole that ball. Well taken by the reserve prop. Unfortunately, again, hands letting the U.S. down. A little knock on Canada scrum.
So the referee ties up the cleats. Just got a slight delay here. I'm not sure if there's a substitution coming on.
Yeah, it looks like Hahi's going off. We have appears to be 23 on for Canada, Stravinsky.
So substitutions on both sides of the ball here.
We have a Canadian player down. Also looks like a little cramp over there. So
Let's go, Salamo!
Can't quite see who that is. Well over on the far side of the field. Whoever it is now, she looks to be up and has a drink of water back in.
Number 23, Sarah Maud Lachance.
yeah, it looks like that was Harley Tucker, the other Acadia player on the roster. So she's just looking. She might have had a little bit of cramp there, but she's back on her feet.
So a Canadian scrum on that far side. Things have kind of slowed a little bit here in terms of the scoring, but that suits Canada just fine. They've got the 24-point lead, and they're content, I'm sure, just to run out the clock here and prevent the U.S. from getting any more scoring opportunities.
Yeah, that was a nice scrum there from the U.S. The first one where they've really had Canada under pressure. You can see some of the substitutions now. Little knock on by Canada, so we'll have a USA scrum. As I was saying, some of the substitutions for Canada now, and things just a little disjointed at that last scrum. See if they can regroup and regather here and keep that U.S. The big U.S. pack in check here.
Unofficially, about 10 minutes left. In half number 2, Canada that close to a victory and winning the first game of this Tri-Nations Cup. Out of that scrum that just breaks down and rolls around, but picking it up off the ground was Passiolis.
Yeah,
that was just a mess coming out of that scrum.
Yeah, a little better push there by Canada that time, driving their American front row back over top of the second row. So looked like the U.S. actually had the ball clear there, so unfortunate for them. They would have, I'm sure they would have rather taken that ball than have another scrum at this point.
So a U.S. scrum. Passiolis will put it in for Team USA. Passiolis, another one of those players from Central Washington University. So again, good representation here from Central Washington on this USA squad.
Nice step there as well by Passiolis, just in support of the big number 8.
And a great run there by Team USA is finally getting dragged down. I believe that was Henrik again. Not sure who that was made that run. Tried to get a look at the number. USA player down behind the scenes.
I believe that was Hingano, actually, 13 with that big run. Yeah, she
13,
great.
yeah.
Looks like Canada's turned up all over, though. We have a break here. Half break by the good.
So USA knocks a little bit on the door, and then Canada just shuts it and takes the ball right back. And you're right, it was indeed Hingano who made that really great run for USA, but it's all for naught as the ball is turned over.
Hatfield just gets stripped of the ball there.
Quick little offload there. Now this is Henrik. And the referee blows the whistle there as Henrik was trying to make her way down the field.
Apparently there was a forward pass there. Have a scrum down for Canada.
(36-12) is your score. About 8 minutes left to play here in this game. It's been a pretty good showing for Team Canada on their home soil, taking on Team USA. The United States has had moments where they've shown some pushback. Certainly Henrik has had herself a whale of a game with a couple of tries for Team USA. And they've had some nice individual performances. And as you said, they've looked dangerous at times. But you look at the game as a whole, and it really has been Canada, for the most part, that has kind of had control possession-wise and control physically up front as well.
Yeah, they've kind of controlled the set pieces, which is to their advantage. But the USA hands, I think they'll be disappointed when they look at their chances that they've had in this game, but just haven't been able to cash in on some of them, just at that last pass going forward or going off that player's hand. So they'll be disappointed with some of that, I'm sure. And I'm sure they'll look to regroup and come back against England.
So, Team Canada scrum. About 20 meters or so on the Canadian side of midfield.
Back away, Mo. They're going to take it.
Canada penalized for an early engage there. Indirect penalty, so US will tap and go.
Pasiolis takes it quickly. USA long pass over to that far sideline. Taken down there was Aau. Suliana Aau, 14 in blue.
Another big run by number 8. Tamiunava. She's actually Canada penalized for not rolling away, and they're going to go again. The USA looking to go quickly here at every opportunity, realizing they're down. Canada looks like they've turned that ball over once again on the goal line. Just now the USA seems to have that. No. This time the USA penalized for not rolling away. Canada content just to kick the touch and restart with a lineout.
And I'm not sure who's going to have to retrieve that ball, but that's well over there in the high bushes.
Yeah, time for a new one. It's a little swampy over there. You never quite know what's lingering in those.
Yeah, just a tad.
Bull rushes, yeah.
So the line out now for Team Canada. Waning stages of this game. Canada comfortably in front. It's been 36-12 now for quite some time in this second half.
Yeah, with the substitutions, things have slowed a little bit here. It's kind of been a back and forth affair for the last 20 minutes or so. Well taken line out there. So the U.S. has managed to shatter that drive, and Canada will be lucky they've kept it. Yep.
They do get it out of there. Pasiolis again. She's played well, 22 in blue, since she's come in. There's no question about it. Mary Jane Pasiolis playing very well here for USA. But again, it's Canada away with the ball.
Yeah, Canada playing that little pod system, just putting those 3 forwards together, looking to take the ball up, commit some U.S. backs to tackle, and then try and move that ball wide. So that ball kind of into nowhere.
Yeah, kind of a miscommunication there as the ball was sent back and kind of went off the ankles of a Canadian player.
Yeah, no one wanted to claim that one, so knocked on there. Have a scrum again for the U.S.
Not a whole lot of time here left in this game.
1 o'clock!
Anything can happen, but it certainly would appear as Canada is going to be able to hold on here to this 24-point lead and claim victory in Game 1 of this Tri-Nations Cup.
See if the U.S. goes with the 8 pick again with Tumi Ivana. She's been extremely effective in the second half when they've had possession. So
Pasiolis spins it in, and she gets it right back out. Quick pass to the outside. USA working that ball down the line. Far sideline. Good job by the Canadians closing that gap, meeting that ball carrier, but the USA gets it up again. Quick little move there by Matina. US gets it up. Now they'll try to bring it up toward the middle.
Advantage for the U.S. here. Canada was offside.
That ball up into the air, grabbed quickly by Isabel Manu.
New advantage for the U.S. now. Canada getting a little sloppy defensively.
Back, urgency!
That's 2 in a row.
Urgency!
You can hear some of the Canadian officials yelling urgency to their side.
Looks like the U.S. is going to try and take some territory here and attack from the line out.
USA will kick it out for touch, and they'll have a line out.
Let's go, ladies! Give them nothing! Minute and a half! Fight!
Inside 2 minutes to play here in the game. And you know that right now with USA getting deep into Canadian territory here with this line out, the Canadians are going to want to finish strong and not allow the U.S. to get any points here at the end of this game. For the U.S., well, of course, it's the opposite. They want to finish on a high note here, see if they can get some points out of this.
Unfortunately for the U.S., that lineout was not straight, so Canada will have a choice here. Lineout or scrum. And they've chosen a lineout.
Line out, now a little bit low.
Yeah, the lineout throwing has gone down as the night's gone on. Knocked forward there by the USA, though, as they attempted to steal it, so we'll have a Canadian scrum.
And yes, we're getting close to the end of the game, and yes, the score, 36-12, the end result not in doubt at this point. But we mentioned how kind of clammy and humid it is. The air is just so heavy that it's going to take a toll on you regardless of what stage of the game you're in. I think you can see that now, that this kind of heavy air after playing a full match, it's starting to, you mentioned the line-out throws not quite being there. I think we're seeing kind of an overall drop-off across the board.
Yeah, no, definitely the heat's played a factor.
It's just such a heavy air. You even when you're taking deep breaths, you don't feel like you're getting any kind of fresh air into your lungs. And when you're out there exerting the type of effort that these two sides are, it's got to be fatiguing. Canada has that ball. Again, I would say now we're at the discretion of the match official as to when he blows the whistle to signify an end to this one. Meanwhile, Canada looking to make a nice run. Good offload there as DeGoody again. My goodness, she's had a strong game for Team Canada.
Yeah, they've got some bodies over here on the left if they can make the ball move.
And I don't have the official height, but DeGoody, the captain of this Canada squad, she's tall as well. She's just a big framed player. Tough to handle.
No, she's been a handful all day, definitely.
Canada has been a handful right across the board, giving the U.S. something they can handle.
Yeah, unfortunately there, Amelia Hatfield just caught holding onto the ball, and the U.S. has tapped and gone quickly.
Weaving with it again is Pasiolis. USA, credit to them. They are not giving up. They've been coming hard the entire game. They have not hung their heads. Their body language, you wouldn't know that they're trailing. They've been coming hard the entire match. Nice offload there, getting into the hands of number 10, Canet.
Fight!
USA trying to push it over to see if they can finish on a high note here. And there's number 8 once again, Tommy Avena.
Canada, U.S. on advantage here. Canada not rolling away. I think you may see one of the Canadian players take a card here. Yeah.
You are correct. Card shown to Taylor Hurd, it looked like.
Yeah, 21 definitely. Just 2 in a row, slowing that ball down, preventing the U.S. from having quick ball inside the 22. That's going to be a card all the time.
So Taylor Hurd won't get to finish the game on the field of play. She'll finish it in the sin bin.
See if the See if Fromstein can regroup here and throw a nice accurate line-out ball. Better throw, bobbled though. Big hit there, well done.
Passiolis
Again.
absolutely filled in right over on that sideline. 22 in blue. She's been in the middle of everything since she's checked into the game, and she was on the receiving end of a big hit right there.
Yeah, that was the goodie once again with the defense that time with the big hit.
And that is the ball game. The blasts from the officials' whistle signify the end of this one. So the
And
teams
that's the game, ladies
will
and
shake
gentlemen.
hands, but a
Canada
very good
wins,
performance
26-12.
start to finish overall. I think Team Canada and Coach Jack Hanratty should be really pleased with how this game went for Team Canada, Gino.
No, most certainly it was well played. You can see their game plan playing a couple of forward pods in the middle looking to stretch
Stick
the
around
U.S.
for the
and then
presentation of the man of the match.
were able to dominate the set pieces and took their chances when they had them, and a few opportunistic scores. I do think the U.S. probably played better than the score line suggests. Just unfortunately for them, the hands let them down fairly consistently throughout the match, and I think they had a number of chances which just went lacking. So,
Well, good to see the handshakes after a hard-fought match between these two. So we'll just wait for the announcement of the man of the match. And I don't think there's probably any doubt as to who that would be based on the 4-try performance and the dominant play all over the field from the captain of this Canadian squad, number 8, Sophie DeGoody. She plays for Queen's University. She's the captain there. She's the captain here. And Gino, she played like a captain. She led the way.
no, she led from the front. She took the ball on well. Some big hits on defense. Added the little comment